Hey, it's Candus, and today I am answering some questions that I received through social media. So the first one has to do with, her question has to do with 1099s. So what she's saying is, I get 1099s from businesses all the time, but they don't understand. How do I then take what they're sending me and put it into QuickBooks? So her first example is Mary Jo Bloom with Pretty in Pink LLC and their 1099 has a personal social security number. How do you put that in QuickBooks? And then if the same person gives you an EIN number, how do you put that into QuickBooks? So let's go into QuickBooks and I'm going to show you what I recommend you do and how to do your 1099s since it's that time of year. So the first step is to go into the vendor center. And I'm actually going to add the example she gave us. So we're going to go in, we're going to add new. You should already have these people in because you've been paying them. So the first name under vendor name is up to you if you do it by the person's name or if you do it by their business name. It's what you know them by and how you're going to look them up and just stay consistent. So for me, I'm actually going to do her business name, Pretty in Pink LLC. Then down here, I am going to put the company name again. And I'm going to put her first name here. So what it matters is how you are writing the check and how they are receiving the money. Let me put this over here under last name. So what you're going to do is for a 1099 to be done accurately, when you're in here, what you would do is you would do box that you fill out is name shown on your income return. So this is actually going to be your entity. If you're using an entity structure, it would be there. Now, if that's all you're using, then you would go along and you would select LLC here, whatever type of thing you have going on. If you have a limited liability company, but it's classified as an S or C, you would check mark this. So it really depends. If you have an LLC, but your tax is an S Corp, you'd put that there. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. Just leave that blank. Check mark the LLC. If you are a corporation, you would check mark any of these. Then you would come down and you'd put your address in here. We'll just put something in here. Oops. If I could type today. I don't even know what the zip is in Sacramento. Okay. So then number 7 is list the account number. Here, optional. Don't worry about that. Then you come down. And this is the second part of her question. Social security number, employer identification number. Now, what a lot of people don't know is if you are doing business as your name. So let's take this off and put the lady's name here. The example she gave us was Mary Jo Bloom. Okay, if she's doing business as herself, she has 2 options. If she does not have an employer identification number, she would put in her social security number here. Okay. Now, tip for you, this. If you are doing business, I highly recommend you can go out and you can still do business as a sole proprietor, meaning your own business, no entity. You can still go out and get an EIN number so that when you're sending out W-9s, you're not giving them your personal social security number. I highly recommend that. It's free. Go apply for one. So if she is doing business under her personal name, she'd use her social security number. If she is doing business under her entity structure, which we called it Pretty in Pink, and then she's getting money under her own personal name, but she's filing taxes under her business, she would put Pretty in Pink on the top. She would put Mary Jo Bloom underneath as doing business as, because it says if different from above. So this is her tax information. This is how she's doing business. This is what her checks are written as. Then if she has an entity, she's going to have an EIN number. So what you do is you come in here and you put the EIN number. Okay, so when now you go into QuickBooks, depending on how you get this is what we're going to do. So let's go back in. I'm going to show you what you would do. So if she's using her LLC as her company name, but she is doing business as Mary Jo, you would do DBA, doing business as, and put her business name. And then you're going to put her street in, which I don't remember exactly what I wrote there. I did Main Street, 123 Main Street. So they're going to give you the form, and then you are going to go in and put the information. You can copy it to the shipping address, that's fine. Typically, you're going to have a phone number. And you've already set this, hopefully, up in your QuickBooks. So I'm just showing you what you would do. So if she has given you an entity structure, an LLC with her personal name as a doing business as, that's how you want to do it in QuickBooks. Okay? Like this, doing business as. Then under her tax settings, if she's a sole proprietor and everything's in her name, you'd put her social security number here. If not, then you're going to take the form that she gave you, whatever it says, employer identification number, and you put that number now in here. I'll be honest with you, it's probably not going to match number for number because this is just a sample file. Okay? I think that's even too many digits, but you would put in whatever, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then you click eligible for 1099. What happens a lot of times, so you put in whatever EIN number they gave you. They didn't give you EIN and they gave you social, that's fine. But if they have an entity, any type of LLC, any corp, it says Inc. on the end of it, you need an EIN number, not a social security number. Okay, so now she's in here. And if we were going to print her form, it would actually print as her, on the 1099, it will print her business name, doing business as, and then her personal name. That is what will keep you from getting the IRS sending you a letter saying, oh, you put the wrong information. Anytime they give you an LLC, you have to have an employer identification number. Now, if it's all under their personal name, then you can have a social security. So I hope this answered your question. If you have any other questions, feel free to message me. The other thing I wanted to quickly add is if you go back in here under Mary Jo and Pretty in Pink, if you go under payment settings, the name right here is whatever the check is actually going to print. So if you want it to be her name, when you go under payment settings, change this to be her name. And then the vendor will always stay the same, but what actually prints on the check will be whatever you put here if you want it to be different than what the vendor name is. So Pretty in Pink would be here. Whatever you want to pop up here on the left is what you're going to put in this first box. So if you want that to be Mary Jo Bloom, that's fine. You just want to make sure that you put whatever you want to show up there, still put the company information here, still have this there, and then that way you can find her. So whatever's under the first section is what shows up there on the left. I hope that helps you. If you enjoyed this tip, please share it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to get all my tips and tricks, I will put a link below where you can put your name and email address. And every week when I add new tips, they will be sent to you directly into your inbox. I will talk to you again next week. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.